Or the headphones. All right. Here we are at the amazing EFC. I'm very excited to be sitting next to the prettiest caller girl in the whole entire universe, Phoenix. How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good, Kurt. How are you doing?
I'm always amazing, you know that. The first fighter's getting into the cage. It's pretty exciting here. From the blue line defense.
Kurt, now you're a very seasoned fighter. Do you remember what, one of your first fights were like?
I actually remember my first fight.
You always remember your first one.
Yeah, I remember my first fight very well.
All right.
I think I just got paired up with someone. I actually did get paired up with someone who just looked the same size as me.
Looked the same size as you?
We never ever weighed in.
Yeah, that's how it was back in the day. It was like, you look like that guy, and you're kind of like that guy, and
that's how it was.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And let's bring out his opponent, introducing Dan Howell.
Looks like Dan has the fan base this evening.
Yeah, Dan's from AMA, so you know they're going to bring some fans and be well prepared. So we'll see what happens.
I know I'm in Jersey because only in Jersey do fighters come out to Springsteen.
Isn't that something?
It's something. I like Springsteen. I'm all good with it.
I'm sure Dan's going to be very good, wherever the fight goes, whether it's standing or on the ground. A lot of very good guys, a lot of top-notch fighters coming in and out of AMA, so I'm sure he'll be really prepared for this fight.
Coming out already with a lot of energy.
Yeah, he looks very confident.
Yeah. On his shorts it says dead serious.
Very dead serious, those shorts.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started here. Start the night off good. Dan comes out, real aggressive.
Yeah, totally.
Not much of a game plan, just coming out swinging. A lot of these amateurs doing the same thing.
Good, nice slam to the mat by Dan Powell.
Now let's see the ground game here, trying to pass. Has the side control right now.
Knees to the body.
That hurts real bad,
yeah,
especially if he finds that floating rib there. Ouch.
Tim Dooling's trying to bridge and sort of push his body weight over.
Which is going to expend a lot of energy, that bridging and pushing. Tim
What
needs
would be
to
his better option?
try to get his close knee inside, try to shrimp in, try to have that open butterfly guard, try to shrimp in there. Now he's doing the right thing right now, protecting for the mount. But, you know, he has to really, these amateur kids should watch these tapes and see that you have to try to shrimp away from his body there and get that closest leg, that shin drop right down that little sweet spot there.
Take his right leg and place it on the inside of his thigh.
Yes.
Try it.
Oh, he punched 2 illegal strikes to the face there. An amateur is no striking to the face. A little bit of excitement going on.
Nice teep.
Caught in a good guillotine.
Guillotine choke.
All he has to do is connect those hands. And he gets
didn't
out.
Have it tight. Tim Dooling keeping Dan's head close to him so he couldn't posture up, but
a lot of these guys, for these amateurs, right now they see those legs are open.
yeah.
Should just try to play that jiu-jitsu card and get away from the striking and just work this jiu-jitsu, because this is where the adrenaline of his first fight, of both these guys, that adrenaline dump, where Tim's getting the the bad side of it, but is honestly conserving more energy because he's just really laying down.
Yeah.
Where you have Dan, who's working hard and clearly should win this round from all the punching, all the passing, the slams.
Yeah.
But those punches and the control right there mean nothing. Now let's see how he comes out in round 2. And both fighters are getting some cheap shots to the face here.
Yeah.
And breathing heavy, as you see right now.
Slightly tired.
He's definitely tired, but still controlling very well. Nice foot sweep there. That's in your little neck of the woods there. A little catch the kick the back of the heel, correct?
Yeah.
That was a good round, especially for Dan, but let's see what happens coming out in round 2.
You see how much energy Dan has expended, you mean?
Dan has definitely worked really hard for that first round, for his first fight ever. That was a very hard round.
Yeah.
He could have took him down and spent that whole round on top. I don't think that Tim has the jiu-jitsu that Dan has right now. And in round 2, hopefully the corner is telling him maybe feel him out a little bit standing, push him into the cage to try to get past round 2, settle those nerves down.
Yeah.
And for Tim, he looks ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And I feel like he is fresh, and they should throw maybe a flying knee, because you know that this guy's going to come right at him. And the crowd's definitely into this fight. And I want everyone at home listening who buys this DVD know that we have no headphones.
Yeah, so we're kind of yelling at each other right now. Nice low leg kick, grabbed, and he's trying to take him down.
And here we are on the ground again. And hopefully you get rid of those punches on the ground and just try to work that jiu-jitsu, because I think that's the really strong point that Dan has.
Dan seems more confident with his jiu-jitsu, and Tim seemed a lot more confident with his stand-up.
And it looks like Tim's just kind of, loosening him up with those punches, trying to take some air out of him. And it does look like the corner, Mike and them told him maybe to slow down with the striking and to go to more of the jiu-jitsu, which is the smarter play to do. Got sitting next to us Mike Constantino and Shorty Rock, who's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So he's in good hands over here in this red corner as Dan Powell.
Tim seems very stuck in this position, not really sure how to get out of it. He's trying to buck his hips up.
He has Dan in a lockdown position in half guard. But with these shin guards on. For the amateurs, it's very hard to pass this kind of a half guard,
Yeah,
especially with all that
guards
stuff.
stuck,
Yeah, the guards are just kind of prohibiting it. But there he goes with that knee slice. Gets a nice pass.
And side control.
And this is counting. This is rounds. This is a nice, good round for Dan, and he's doing enough to stay down. The amateur judges give the fighters a benefit of the doubt, no matter how it's only a 3-minute round. And these are the way to win these rounds and ground them out. You can't punch them to the face, so really punching them to the body and their guard isn't really doing nothing but kind of wasting your own energy out. Now this would be a terrible position here for Tim in a pro, because he would be beat up a lot with those elbows on the ground.
But you just can't do it in the amateurs. Well, he's like has him fully mounted.
Looks like it's a poor man's mount there. Has a little bit of half guard in there. May look to take his back right here. You can sit him up and get his left leg around. And right there, you can get that left hook in, or go for an arm bar, which looks like he's going for that far side arm bar. See if Dan goes for the arm bar, and he does go for the arm bar. Now in this position, Dan has to watch out getting picked up and slammed. Oh, he's turning out of it, putting the foot over. Beautiful job. And saved by the bell.
It's a good round. Definitely a good round for Dan.
Another great round for Dan. Great round. A total dominant round of jiu-jitsu. And at the end there, he came very close to finishing with that armbar.
Yeah, if he would have had a little bit more time, I think he could have finished that.
He needed about 20 more seconds, I think. And and for Tim's corner, I would say get away from the kicking and just keep him away with a jab and some uppercuts. Use your hands more, because the light kicking, he's closing the distance.
It is. He's closing the distance also, but if you get your leg caught out there like that, you have to get out of it. You have to get out of it, or if you have good Thai boxing, come in, grab the head, immediately clinch. If a guy's going to grab your leg like that, you can't leave it there for him to do a throw or another technique. You immediately slip into it, go for when we're starting round 3.
Now you can see the pace slow down a lot.
Yeah.
Now they've it's almost like they're filling each other out now.
Yeah.
Wow. Tim brought the kitchen sink with that right hand. And once again, off that kick
low leg kick
is where Dan found that takedown. But no matter, even if the corner told him not to kick, when you're out there fighting,
that's what feels natural to you. That's your go-to thing. But that's the beauty of MMA. You've got to be able to use different things in your arsenal for different opponents.
And what separates the good fighters from the mediocre and bad ones are the ones that can really listen inside that corner. Yeah. Because when you go home and and Tim looks at this tape, he'll see that every time he kicked him, he got taken down.
Right.
And
it might work for a different type of fighter.
And right now he's throwing, but throwing wild, not picking your punches. This is why it's so good to have amateur fighting.
Yeah.
Like boxing has the amateurs, the Golden Gloves, and when I was fighting, there was no such thing. There was just pro.
Yeah.
And if I could have started off in the amateurs instead of going 12-0 in pro, how much more experience would I have had?
There's so many things to take into play as an amateur too. Do you have the ability to listen to your corner, to deal with the adrenaline dump? It's a lot more to it than just the fight itself.
And it looks like they're both the fighters today. Tim and Dan are controlling that adrenaline dump pretty well.
Yeah, definitely.
Beautiful pass. Looks like he's going for a head and arm choke, but Tim gets out of it. Very nice. A lot of top control over here by Dan. He's doing a real good job. Tim's, really making sure that that Dan doesn't get that mount and get him in trouble where he had him at the end of round 2.
That's why he has his knee crossed, you mean. And his knee crossed over so that he can't pass.
The ref's going to stand him up. There wasn't a lot of work going on.
Yeah, sort of like
good
getting
decision.
into a stalemate.
10 seconds left. Oh!
Superman punch.
Big punch, big kicks. A lot of action for the first. A lot of action in this fight here for start the amateurs off for the EFC. So that's how we do it here. Good fight, but I'm gonna have to go with Dan.
Yeah,
on
Dan
that one.
definitely controlled the fight. He took the takedowns when he could. He had a lot of aggression.
This is why we call it Extreme Fight Club.
He slowed down a bit, but Dan slowed down a bit, but these guys are really fighting. They're throwing a lot of punches, and for your first fight, that's pretty good cardio, pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
Both fighters were trained well. Nothing to be ashamed of. Come back out here and do it again. Here comes the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 30 to 27 for your winner, the red corner.